Hello, guys. Welcome to the video. So what we're going to talk about today is 5 things that I wish I knew before I bought my house. All right. And I'm going to make this video as transparent as possible. And I'm also putting myself in the shoes of a first-time home buyer, or even someone who is already in a house, but maybe you're feeling like you didn't make the right decision and you're on the fence and you're thinking maybe you need to sell your house, or maybe there's something else that could be done. So my goal with this video is basically to just share 5 tips, 5 things that I wish I knew before I purchased my home. And I hope that this video helps someone. And if you are watching, this is your time to like and subscribe. All right. Like and subscribe and comment below. All right, let's get right into this video, guys. So, as I was saying, a lot of times when we are in the process of purchasing a home, it's a very exciting opportunity. And I am speaking to those of you and those of us, because I'm included in this bunch, that has done the work. You saved all of your money that you can possibly save. You've gotten your credit score up to a score to where you are getting approved for a loan, and you've already reached out to a loan officer and you have a pre-approval. Now, if what I am saying sounds kind of like gibberish because you are really a first-time home buyer and you're completely new to this process, I have other videos here on my channel that will explain the process to getting a pre-approval, and those videos will more than likely help you if you're confused and you don't know what I'm talking about. Back to those of you that are on track with what I'm speaking about. You did all the work, you got your pre-approval, you got your realtor, you're out, you're looking at houses, you made an offer on a house, and you're in your new home. Yay! Okay. And then you got into this house and now you may be struggling to pay your mortgage, or something broke down and you don't know what to do, or the area isn't what you thought it was and you're like, what do I do now? Am I stuck here? Where do we go? All right. So these are the people that I'm talking to. Number 1, when you are purchasing your home, we are out of the market where buyers were buying homes and they really didn't have an opportunity to make an offer. So anyone that bought their home after 2020, you were pretty much in a very high seller's market, which means you more than likely maybe bought a house without a home inspection. Or maybe you were someone like me who I bought my house, didn't get a home inspection. It was a fairly new house, only had one owner. From what I could see in the little bit that I did inspect, my house didn't need an inspection, and I was in a situation where I needed to get a house, and so I decided to just skip the inspection and go straight to the appraisal. Okay? Sometimes that can work for you. Like I said, my house was safe. I bought it, nothing happened. Like, it was a new house, and I didn't have a home inspection, and I got lucky, right? And I have tons of other clients that are the same, that they didn't get a home inspection and nothing has happened to their home. I have other clients that maybe they did get a home inspection, but something was not discovered, or they didn't get a home inspection and now they're in the house and oh my God, there is some things that need to get done. Now, here is the caveat. If the house is a house that you would have chosen no matter what, and it's in an area that you love no matter what, every problem is a fixable problem, okay? There are going to be some outliers. I'm not going to even lie. And I have seen on the news, especially in the DMV, that there was an issue with home investors that were flipping houses, and they were doing really beautiful renovations, but the structures and like the pipes and the foundation, things that really matter, weren't never fixed. And there most of the time would never have been caught in a home inspection, because your average home inspection doesn't go that deep in inspecting a property. Okay, so there has been a lot of nightmares with people that bought homes that were flipped and they looked pretty, but they were actually a nightmare. And if that happened to you, leave me a comment below if you feel led to share, and tell us what you did when you figured out that you bought one of those houses. This is why it's very important that you inspect your house thoroughly. That is one tip that I'm going to give you guys, and I'm going to tell you that a basic home inspection isn't going to go deep, but let's just say, I remember I had a situation where I had a few situations where some big things did come up on a home inspection for my clients. And at that moment, they had a decision. If they wanted the house, which most in the scenarios that I'm going to share with you, these buyers chose the home. And because they got a thorough home inspection, and in one case, there was some foundational cracks, we got a structural engineer to come out, and they gave my buyer a quote on how much it would cost to remedy that issue, and if it was something that could actually be fixed, because there is that. And the structural engineer said, yes, totally fixable, $13,000, right? At that moment, we took that estimate, we presented it to the seller. The seller had an option to dismiss my buyer out of the contract because he couldn't give him the $13,000, or give my buyer a credit of $13,000 towards the repair of that home. That is what those two clients chose to do, and that is what he chose based off of his home inspection. All right, so if you're following, the initial home inspector that came out to inspect the house noticed the foundational cracks and that it was kind of sloping. So he recommended that we have a structural engineer come out. When you are under contract and you get that initial home inspection, things like that are negotiable on whether the seller pays for the inspection or the buyer pays for the inspection. It all depends on what you and the seller agree to. All right. And in my case, the seller paid for everything, the inspection, and gave him the $13,000 credit. So it cost the seller an extra $13,000 plus the $500 to get the additional structural engineer to come out and give an estimate. It was in the seller's best interest to do so, because this was such a latent defect that at this point he wasn't going to sell the house without fixing the problem. So that's why they came to that agreement. All right. So in situations like that, that is what it looks like to inspect your property thoroughly. Not just the basic inspection, but if your basic inspection comes back and suggests that you should have a skilled licensed professional, in this case it was a structural engineer, to come out and inspect, then you want to negotiate that and get that extra inspection. All right, or walk away from the deal if you don't even want to deal with it. A lot of people do that when it comes to roofs, or they just ask for a roof credit. Okay, so I want you guys to know and be informed that you are allowed to ask the sellers for these things. We were previously in a market where, unfortunately, it was a seller's market and most homes were being sold as is. So then you weren't going to be able to ask them for those repairs because it was a seller's market. All right. And that's just the reality of the market. It was up to you if you wanted to participate or not. I'm guessing since you're here watching this video, you chose not to participate. And if you are someone that bought in that last excuse me, in that last market, well, you know that now you have to get your home inspected. And that brings me to the next tip that I wish I knew. Financial preparedness. All right. Having that knowledge of the home inspection is very vital to your financial preparedness in owning a home and being a homeowner, because the house is going to have maintenance, guys. Even new construction has maintenance. So you want to know what it's going to cost you to get things fixed around your home and have a maintenance budget on top of taxes, insurance, and your mortgage. If you live in a community that has an HOA or a condo fee monthly, these are all numbers that you need to take into account in your monthly budget. I'm sure you've heard it before that your living expenses, your home, shouldn't be more than 30% of your take home pay. Okay? I will make a whole nother video on the math of owning the home, but that is the basis for tip number 2 and having financial preparation to be a homeowner. The most important takeaway here is 30% of your take home pay should cover your housing expenses. All right. And that savings, the maintenance savings that you want to have, that is going to be in a separate savings account. Okay. Because things go wrong in a house all the time. You can have homeowners insurance, and you can also have a home warranty on your appliances. That will help you on the cost, but I want you to always try to keep at least $3,000 in reserve for anything that happens in your home, because even if you have to use your home warranty or your homeowner's insurance, there is more than likely going to be a deductible. All right? Good. The next tip that I can tell you is that location matters for a lot of buyers. Okay. I want you to really see, especially going forward 2024 and beyond. Right now, there is no clear indication on what's happening in the market. Economists are not confirming whether prices are going to fall. We don't know how much lower interest rates are going to go. If they're going to go lower, are they going to go higher? They're tethering right now at 7.5%. That is the reality, and that is somebody with a 700 credit score, guys. So with that being said, you want to make sure that you are picking a location that not only it's a place that you want to be, but it's also some place that you can afford. Remember tip number 2, financial preparation. That location is going to determine how much home you can buy. And if you live in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, also known as the DMV, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you purchase a house in Alexandria, right? That same 4-bedroom house that might cost you $800,000 or above in Alexandria, you can purchase that same house or more for $550,000 if you move out to Fredericksburg, Virginia. All right, 40 minutes distance, and we have a $300,000 difference in value. That's gonna definitely make a difference in that 30% within your income. So you want to live in an area that is going to give you the space that you need and also be within the budget that you want to stay within. Guys, I know people always tell you that mortgages don't change, that your mortgage is fixed. That's kind of true. The principal balance doesn't change. Your interest rate doesn't change if you get a 30-year fixed or a 15-year fixed rate. But the monthly amount can change based off of your taxes. The closer you are to the city, the closer you are to a thriving, bubbling area, your taxes are going to go up. Therefore, that's going to change your monthly numbers, okay? That's why location matters. Pay attention to the taxes, not just what you're going to pay monthly, all right? If you got any questions about that, leave them in the comments below. This is another time. I'm going to drink some water. This is another time for you guys to like, follow, subscribe, share the video, because you don't know who you know that needs this information. All right. So we touched on inspection, financial preparedness, location, why location matters. And this tip number 4 kind of goes into location, your future plans, okay? I'm telling anyone who is thinking about purchasing a home today, You want to purchase for the next at least 3, 5, 10 years, okay? Long-term purchases right now. This is not the market to be buying a house and thinking you're going to sell it in a year or two. That happened in 2019. People had astronomical amount of equity in a year, 2, 3 years time. That's why the market was what it was, because people had so much equity. Right now, homeowners still have a lot of equity, but the interest rates are a lot higher than they were when they initially bought their homes. So sellers aren't really quick to trade in a 2 or 3 or 4% interest rate to get a 7% interest rate, right? So they better be happy in the houses that they bought, because they don't want to get back into the buying market and have to pay more unless they bought a house that does not longer fit their family needs. And that is what I see the most in people that are selling their homes. They're either retiring, they got married, they had a new baby, or they're having a baby, they didn't have babies, or you know what I'm saying, adding to their family. Situations like that, job changes, situations like that is mostly the people that are selling their homes and buying in this new market. So that's why you're here watching this video, so that you are informed this time and you plan for your future accordingly when you're out shopping with your realtor. Okay, guys? Also, this is tip number 5 now. You want to negotiate wisely, guys, okay? I have been in real estate since 2004, 20 years in the DMV. I have a lot of expertise. I am a realtor. That means that I am a member of the National Association of Realtors. So I am renewing my license every 2 years. I try to stay up to beat on all of the real estate knowledge, real estate news, real estate education, so that I could be the best agent to my clients. But, and that is a big but, do not blindly follow me or any other realtor. You need to do your own due diligence every step of the process in buying a home. I have tons of videos on my channel on the steps to buying a home, but you also want to have the conversations with your realtor when you are negotiating, okay? And I'm going to give you guys another real life example. I recently had a client, and I knew that he had a wonderful property. You know, we did the comps. We knew that the home was priced correctly. We also knew that there wasn't much like it on the market. So, we were not going to negotiate on his price, right? But as the realtor, I don't get to just make the decisions for my client. I give him my professional expertise, and then he comes back and tells me what he wants to do. Well, the very first offer that we got, we went under contract with them. Everything was good. Seller was because he's a veteran, was giving the other veteran who was purchasing his home the opportunity to get a home inspection, because I actually tell my sellers, let people get a home inspection. Even if you want to sell your house as is, allow the buyers to get a home inspection. I think it's fair, right? I know we came from a market where things were going really, really fast, but listen, if you have a highly qualified buyer, they're asking you for 3 to 7 days to inspect your property, and they're going to take it as is, but they just want to know what's wrong. That's fair, guys, okay? My seller agreed, and he did that. Buyer came back, wanted some things fixed. My seller says, Vicky, I'm not doing it. I'm not fixing anything. The house is being sold as is. That was a wise negotiation for him. His property was in demand. There was no need for him to go back and forth with the buyer. I also commend the buyer for having knowledge for what would work for them and what type of expenses they wanted to take on. That buyer chose to walk away. Well, put the property back on the market. By 2 days later, we were under contract with a new buyer. Luckily, everything worked out with that new buyer, the second buyer, and they ended up buying the property. They did their inspection. Nothing that the first buyer asked the seller that they wanted fixed was a concern to the second buyer, nor did their inspector even bring it up. That's a whole nother video, how one inspector could be different from another inspector. But this is why you, as the consumer, want to have as much knowledge as possible when you are purchasing a home. And whatever you don't understand, Google it, ask your realtor for advice, ask your mortgage broker for advice, ask your inspector for advice. Have a trusted counsel that you could ask for advice, and then you make an educated decision. That is how you negotiate wisely, and that is how you're going to make sure that at minimum, you have bought the best home for you within the budget that you can comfortably afford for the next 3, 5, 10 years. All right? That is how we're buying 2024 and beyond, guys. I am super excited for this new year. If you are thinking about buying real estate, I know I said it on my December video, but I'm going to say it again because the market is hot. Real estate is still a wise investment, but this is a long play. This is not a jump in, jump out, okay? This is why tip number 2 is the most important. Financial preparation. Know your numbers. Know what you can comfortably afford every month. And know that your taxes will change depending on what's happening in your area. All right. So pay attention to the taxes because that's going to be factored in to your mortgage. Real quick, I said I wasn't going to make this a math video, but just for the sake of really educating you guys, and we're already at 20 minutes, so we might as well just rock out and make it a 30-minute video. But for example, if your taxes are $4,000, divide the $4,000 by 12. That amount is going to be added to your mortgage, your HOA fee, or condo. So you have your condo, taxes, insurance, and the principal and interest. Okay, those are the 5 factors of what you're paying monthly for your home. All right, guys. Don't be afraid. You can buy a house. I still believe that owning real estate is far better than being a renter. And I'm just going to say it straight, no chaser. Cancel me, unfollow me if you don't like that rhetoric. But if you know that you are going to be in a place for 3, 5, 10 years, I'm not, the people that are in a place for 3 years, y'all could probably rent. But if you know you're going to be someplace 5 years plus, you need to own. You need to own. You need to do whatever you got to do to become a homeowner. And I'm here to tell you that in today's market, no matter how difficult that it may seem, there are still many opportunities for you to become a homeowner. So take action, like, follow, subscribe. Tell me down below what was your favorite part of this video. And guess what? All of the month of January, I am going to commit to come on here and make a video daily. Ooh, that makes me feel nervous. They may not be long form, but we're going to get daily content here. So I need you to give me in the comments what type of videos you want to see this month so I know what to talk about. And I'm just so happy to be here with you guys. And thank you to all of the new subscribers. I see you. Thank you guys for joining this channel. And I hope that you have already started off the new year's on a good foot. You're watching this video, so that tells me that you are committed to achieving your goals of becoming a homeowner. Until we meet again, bye.